Peace talks between Russia and Ukraine remain up in the air as President Vladimir Putin is notably absent from Russia's in-person delegation list, and US leader Donald Trump, he has announced he will no longer go to the Turkey summit either. A US official said that Mr. Trump would no longer join the talks in Istanbul, having previously toyed with the idea of going if Putin was attending. Russia announced their delegation list just last evening, and the list did not include Putin's name. Instead, the delegation included his advisor, his deputy defense minister, and the director of the main intelligence directorate of the GRU, which is Russia's military intelligence agency. On the other hand, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky, his advisor, has made it clear that the leader would not meet any representative of Russia in Turkey except the Kremlin leader. We have a reaction from the US president lined up for you. Listen in.
What happens on Thursday if President Putin doesn't show up in Turkey for the talks with Ukraine? What will you do?
Well, I don't know if he's showing up. I know he would like me to be there. And that's a possibility. If we could end the war, I'd be thinking about that. Now, tomorrow, we're all booked out, you understand, we're all set.
But you'd go if he goes?
I'd go UAE tomorrow. And so we have a very full situation. Now, that doesn't mean I wouldn't do it to save a lot of lives and come back. But, yeah, I think they're thinking about something. I don't know that he would be there if I'm not there. We're going to find out. Parker's going, and Parker's been very effective.
My colleague Gauri Dwivedi has been tracking the finer developments for us. She joins us live at the moment. Gauri, as we're given to understand, Vladimir Putin is skipping the peace talks in Istanbul. As the Kremlin says, it's too early to predict the outcome of talks. So can we really be optimistic about what happens in Istanbul today?
Parmeshwar, one needs to be very measured in terms of tempering expectations from this meeting. Yes, it is taking place after the 3-year-long grinding war continues. But it also comes at a time when all sides, and when I say all, there are 3 sides to this, US, Russia, Ukraine. All 3 of them are actually pretty much playing on political brinkmanship, so to say. So to that extent, all sides expect limited outcomes of it. But one cannot miss the fact that this is the first such possibility of some sort of a ceasefire, some sort of a broad peace agreement that could eventually come into effect. The fact that it's not a heads of state level meeting does mean that the outcomes could be limited. But the fact that they are talking for the first time in 3 years also indicate that there is some possibility of give and take. As far as why this has come down from the heads of state to the level of delegation, as I said, there is political brinkmanship that both sides are playing. Russia is very clear that they would probably like to come on the table. Putin would like to come on the table when the military leverage is significant and he speaks from a greater position of strength. As far as US is concerned, President Trump did, in fact, met out a heavy blow to Russia, given the fact that he's normalized ties with the Syrian president, effectively cutting Russia's deep interests and stakes in that entire region. So that allows him to probably come to the table at a later point of time with more leverage. As far as Ukraine is concerned, well, you can blame President Trump for being blunt, but sometimes he's effective. When he said that he has no cards on the table, President Zelensky does have limited leverage right now, except for probably expecting that this could eventually lead to some sort of a peace roadmap. How that will come, how soon that will come, Parmeshwar, is very difficult to say at this stage.